Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Giants. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John. Today we talk about Revenge of the Sith for its 20th anniversary. And since it's 20th anniversary, I don't think we really need to go plot by plot for this movie, because everybody knows Revenge of the Sith at this point. If you're a Star Wars fan, don't know why I had a stroke there.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I got way too excited talking about my favorite prequel movie. But yeah, go ahead. You have anything to say for its 20th anniversary?
Man, I don't like feeling old.
But it is inevitable. Someday, somehow.
That's very true.
But yeah.
But just to think, isn't that like the same time period that like with the original trilogy? Yeah, like how long was that ago?
When it ended, 1983. Yeah. So
1983.
Yeah.
Okay. Somewhat. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
God, it's been that long.
This is the end of Anakin's journey as a Jedi and his turn to the dark side as Darth Vader. And like this opens up pretty well. Like since it was my first Star Wars movie, seeing the Battle of Coruscant, I was like, this is pretty sick. Not gonna lie. Still pretty sick now.
Yeah. I do love it that we're already at this point of the war where we see clones having different ranks now.
Yeah.
Not like majority of them aren't shinies anymore. They have pauldrons, they got skirts on, and you just see individual clones looking way fucking better than stormtroopers.
Yeah. Like this feels like a more free army, not so restrictive than the Empire, like as you see in like Andor, Rogue One, and the original trilogy. But yeah, I like you see how almost much better Anakin is as a Jedi. He's a bit less impulsive. Like he thinks about his actions. There are some moments where he's still like a kid, but like he's a bit wiser now. Same with Obi-Wan. He's like Ewan McGregor is at the stage that Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan is, where he's this wise teacher and Anakin is this more mature Jedi, and like they think in sync. Like Anakin's not that impulsive to when he was a Padawan, and Obi-Wan's more patient as a teacher, and like you feel the brother dynamic between these two, and it carries on until the very bittersweet end of this movie, where we're like, oh man, I hate to see this journey end. Especially if you watch the Clone Wars, where like I've gone through so many episodes with these two, it's heartbreaking to see them become bitter enemies by the end. But yeah, Anakin gets like one of the few turning points is when he does kill Count Dooku, and you're like, oh, I guess it's the end of Christopher Lee. Damn.
Yeah, it was so weird because I remember this guy lasting a little bit longer in this movie.
Right.
I got so shocked where I was like, didn't we just start? Count Dooku's gone already?
Right. I forget how quick he lasts in Revenge of the Sith, when in episode 2 he's like this major figure. Now Sidious is just like, you know what? I don't need you no more. I want my new apprentice now. Bye. And you're like, oh, poor guy. Poor Count Dooku.
Yeah, and you got like we get introduced to like a new combatant, which is General Grievous, and like at the time I was like, this is the coolest fucking character ever.
Yeah.
Where he collects dead Jedi's lightsabers.
Yeah.
And how terrifying is that? And he just grows 4 arms. I'm like, cool. But if I remember correctly, like one of the characters never met him in the Clone Wars. Was it Obi-Wan?
No, it's Anakin. So literally their canon meeting. First canon meeting ever. You know, Grievous was supposed to be voiced by what's his face? Gary Oldman, but like I think the department he was in, or like the union he was in, wouldn't let him, so he had to like follow the union and like be like, sorry George, can't do this.
No integrity, it's fine.
Yeah, but Anakin and Obi-Wan are declared heroes, and like you see how closer Anakin is to Palpatine, and like Palpatine has this great idea of like, why don't you be my representative for the Jedi? Like you be my eyes and ears, and the Jedi like hard cut to the Jedi being like, no, absolutely not.
Nah. But they were like, but we could use this. And he's like, can I have a seat in the council at least? It was like, Nah, but we'll use you as like our own little spy for the Chancellor.
I mean, you can sit. You're not a master. And he's like, what?
Yeah, you could sit in, but you know,
You're not part of the
you
cool
can't
kids.
vote.
You're not cool. You can't sit with us. I mean, you can sit with us, but you're still not cool. He's like, but that's unfair. Can I at least go to a trial? No. Oh, okay. And like, you see how Palpatine's manipulations and like the Jedi Council's being a dick about it. It's like slowly turning Anakin to the dark side, and he's also having nightmares about Padme. And you're like, well, I've seen this before. I don't like the ending of this. All right. But like you also see how much this war has consumed the Jedi Council. That's like I do love the Vietnam or like modern war in Iraq analogy where this war just consumes like what we thought were the good guys, and even Jedi are like, I don't think we're standing the same principles that we used to, because we're just being used to be sent to whatever war raging planet there is, and like we don't appreciate it, but it's what the Chancellor says. By the way, he's been here for too long. We gonna do something about that? No? Okay.
Anybody getting shifty eyes here? You know, guy's kind of been in power for a bit too long.
Yeah. He said emergency powers. The emergency has lasted God knows how long. Can we stop this? But there are cool scenes when like Yoda has to help the Wookiees, and you see the shaman being like, "Arr!" As a kid, I was like, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. And then like going Rambo onto the droids, I'm like, alright, that makes sense. Sure. You also see like the Jedi Council sending all the Jedi everywhere, and you see how stretched the Jedi are. Like Obi-Wan has to go to whatever planet the Grievous is on. I forgot what it's called.
I forgot what it was called as well, but he had that thing from Monster Hunter Wilds as his like mount.
Yeah. A sound effect that will always live in my ear. It's call. I'm like,
Yeah.
is the animal having fun? Is it in distress? I can't tell, but it looks cool.
Well, it's not gonna last long either.
That's true. And then that's where we get again. We've seen the memes of "Hello there, General Kenobi." It's pretty sick seeing him with the 4 lightsabers, but he doesn't last that long. He lasts shorter than Count Dooku in my memory. Like rewatching this for this video, I'm like, I thought he lasted longer. Shit.
Yeah, I think I just played too much like Lego Star Wars in between. That I'm like, oh no, they stayed a bit longer. They did more shit, and it was just me. I
Right?
implanted those memories.
Exactly. Like after watching this, you see like the 2D Clone Wars. You were like, I feel like I got cheated off Grievous. You know?
You know, I feel like we should have seen Grievous like take out more Jedi, like just to see them like collect and seeing him like become more of a threat. But I really wish that fight scene had more gravitas.
Yeah. Like
You know, it just seemed like an encounter. You know,
if Obi-Wan fought 2D Grievous, like it would be more of a struggle. I feel like, because that guy was using his feet to crush Jedi's heads. I'm like, holy fuck, Jesus Christ.
they need an entire cruiser to try to take Grievous
Right.
out.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to Coruscant, like at first Palpatine's like subtle about being the Dark Lord of the Sith. Like he tells Anakin the story of what's his face?
Dark Plague is the
Thank you. Dark Plague is the wise, and you're like, yeah, you like Anakin. You're like, how do you know this, man? Aren't you like the Chancellor? That's like the president of any country knowing about some black voodoo magic. You're like, how the fuck do you know this, man?
Yeah, it's just like, it's odd that you know it a little too well too.
Yeah, that's like you were there, man. All right.
Like you gotta love how he was like, "That's cool to be part of the dark side."
Yeah, he's like, can any other Jedi tell me this? No. Oh, okay. And then like, since subtlety doesn't work, Palpatine has to be like, man, I can do things that no other Jedi can because I am in tune with the dark side. And Anakin's like, oh fuck, you're the Sith Lord. Holy shit. All this time, all this manipulation. He's about to kill him, and you get the classic lines of like, strike me down with all your anger. And Anakin's like, hold up, I'm gonna get the Jedi Council. He's like, okay, I'll see you later then.
I love it that don't know. I'm having a little bit of a weird Mandela effect. I'm not sure if like his lightsaber came from his seat or came from the shrub behind him. The guy's lightsaber somewhere.
Right. I wonder if like anyone watching the Security Council that day was like, "Holy fuck, he knows that he's a lightsaber. When was this a thing?"
Yeah. Or somebody being like, "What's that phallic thing?"
Right.
You know, on his desk.
It's like, it's none of our business. It's the Chancellor's. You're like, all right. It's a pretty sick.
People were just too awkward to talk about it.
Like, man, I saw a metallic pointy thing and Chancellor's Palpatine seat.
No. Whatever escapades the Chancellor's into, we don't talk about that. That's not cool.
Hey man, there's a war going on. He's fucking stressed. Leave him be. All right.
It's BBY something something already. Get with the times.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool fight. Like the middle part of it, it's a pretty cool fight. Like him just slaughtering poor Kit Fisto. I don't know the name of the one Jedi looking away as Palpatine was lunging at him. I was like, why were you looking away? Were you scared? He's like, I don't want to fight. You're like, oh, well, too late, asshole. You're in it.
What, your force sense told you to look left?
Right? He's like, are you sure we're gonna do this? Get stabbed. Fuck. I guess we're in it now. You're in it now.
Yeah. I love it that when I said left, I looked right.
Oh. I have coordination issues too, but going back to this fight, like Anakin.
So did that one Jedi, I guess.
I guess. Anakin tries to stop the fight, but like Windu is like hell bent of like, you know what? Fuck the Jedi morals. Fuck everything I said about being this.
I'm gonna kill him, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sure if like in another universe where Mace Windu's like, all right, I'll hear what you have to say. Anakin be like, all right, he's gonna save my wife. Can we find like a middle road? But no, this Mace Windu was like, nah, dog, I'm gonna kill him right now. And Anakin slices his hand, and Mace Windu dies. You never know what could happen in Rebels or Clone Wars or the latest season of Ahsoka. You know, if he comes back, I wouldn't be surprised.
Lord, just come back.
Right? But yeah, Anakin's turn to the dark side is a bit quick, in my opinion. It's as fast as Daenerys being like, I am a fair ruler. Here's bells.
Ding dong.
I'm gonna kill everybody. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, going back, I do love the scene when after Anakin tells Mace Windu and he's looking out to where Padme is and Padme's looking out to the Jedi Temple, like they like sense each other and he starts like sobbing because he's like, I don't want you to die. I want to have a life with you. It's a pretty cool scene where nothing's said but you can feel every emotion. It's one of the times where you're like, see George, subtlety is the way to go, not being thrown a brick to my head, you know, being told things.
With a letter on it and just like in big bold words.
Yeah. And then we get to Order 66, and I'm sure by now there's a YouTube supercut of every Order 66 scene from the Clone Wars to poor Grogu in the temple.
You know, I gotta love how every time like they match it with War Pigs too, like the song War Pigs.
Yeah.
Like Ozzy Osbourne. And it's a really cool edit, but I'm just like, this is a genocide we're witnessing.
Right. The saddest one for me is Plo Koon, because he has that speech in the Clone Wars where like he's like, you're not just cannon fodder to me, because they're like, we're just clones, and he's like, not to me.
Not to me. Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Poor Ayla Secura was blasted like she owes them money. You're like, what the fuck happened there?
All that was left was just a curb stomp on like a side of a road. And I was like, yo. Like they shot her down and she was like, alright, and then just kept going. I'm like, I get it. You've seen what the Jedi can do, but calm down.
Yeah.
I will say these were the coolest fucking shots. You see, in my opinion, a little bit deserved, but you see, what's his name?
Kiadi?
Kiadi Mundi just like charging forward and nobody followed him,
Yeah.
and they just shot him in the back. He's like, yo.
He's like, are you gonna bam? Like
Yeah.
Not like
But I do feel bad that like, hey, my boy
Plo Koon.
Plo Koon just dies in a ship. I'm just like,
Yeah.
nah.
Like,
But I do see that People are saying that he lived, but I'm like, don't get my hopes up. It's fine.
I love how there's a mob squad for Aayla Secura, but like there's the least amount of effort for Master Yoda. You're like, how many troops should we send for the Grand Master of the Jedi? 2. Okay.
That one guy, he's pretty good. He's dead. Shit.
Hey.
I gotta love that little scene where, George was like, "This is gonna be so cool, but it's gonna fuck up the continuity so bad."
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Chewbacca. And everybody's like, they thought Jedi's were a myth.
Yeah, exactly. So when Han's like, I don't believe in that shit, Chewbacca's not like, actually, man, I've seen some shit.
Saw one. He was kind of small.
Yeah, I've seen shit, man. But you do you. You stick to your old ways, man.
Yeah, or like when Ben Kenobi was just like, oh, you gotta see Master Yoda. It's like, yo, I fought with that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like there's a call for the Jedi to come back to the Jedi Temple, and that's how they get back. They are able to sneak back because Palpatine is like, the Jedi tried to kill me. I'm disfigured, but my resolve is stronger. And together we will build an empire. And I do love the quote of Padme being like, so this is how everybody dies? With a round of applause? Alright, cool. You're like, fuck, that quote hits harder.
Yeah.
And like modern day, like again, if you watch these movies and then you experience life, you're like, fuck. Damn, Padme.
Yeah, you're like, it's not far-fetched at all. Sometimes like we would think that like, hey, people know better, right?
Yeah. Obi-Wan discovers the horrible truth that Anakin is now Darth Vader, that he killed younglings. I do love how that line delivery is so bad that even McGregor's like, I can't laugh in this scene, so I'll just cover my mouth to be like. Anyway, moving on. Your boyfriend's a dick now, Padme.
Wait, which line?
The one where he tells Padme of like, I've seen the holograms. I've seen him kill younglings. Anyway.
Just like, you're off. You were at Leon the Professional. What the fuck was it?
Exactly. Also, for the poor Japanese stereotypes get killed too, you're like, well, I was wondering when George Lucas will get rid of you.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, no loose ends when it comes to Palpatine.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, Anakin takes over Mustafar.
Yeah. Padme confronts him, but, like, Obi-Wan just had to step out at the wrong time, so Anakin chokes her out. You're like, Jesus Christ. Whatever happened to saving her, Anakin? Wasn't that the whole point of this entire movie? Guess not. Same time, Yoda confronts the Palpatine, and we have 2 sick fights. Like, no, people say this fight's a bit too clean, but it's fucking cool, man, in my opinion.
I gotta agree. Like, yeah, say what you will, it's not like, oh, they're getting down and dirty, they're punching each other, sometimes they would lose a lightsaber or something. Nah, that ain't it. This was a ballerina dance kind of deal, and I'm just like, I'm all for this. Yeah, say what you will about, what do you call it?
Obi-Wan?
No, the bad,
choreography?
Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, the one with the bad choreography.
Oh, fucking Last Jedi?
Yeah. This ain't it.
Yeah.
This is way fucking better.
Yeah, these are 2 Jedis at their prime. Also, we get the novelty of the Grand Master of the Sith and the Grand Master of the Jedi duking it out in the middle of the Senate. Like, it'd be the equivalent of, like, the President of the United States duking out in the White House.
Yeah, with a general.
Yeah.
Just like...
like,
but yeah, that shit was cool. It was really cool. And you gotta see what Yoda was capable of.
Yeah.
Because if he just didn't turn 900, we would have... I think the original trilogy would have been shorter.
Exactly. Like, I wonder how the day after was when the security people had to clean up after the fight. They're like, what happened? Or we're looking at
the 2 Jedis were fighting in here.
I'm sure there's some lore that they're like, you know what, just keep quiet about it. Like, we don't need to get killed today.
Not gonna lie, I would love to see a skit.
Yeah.
of like people cleaning up fight scenes from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that one scene of like the mechanic coming in after Kylo Ren broke the computer. He was just, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like, again, shit, man, this is like the 10th one today. Yeah. Like, like, the duel and Mustafar, like, last, honestly, a bit too long, but it's like, it's still pretty to look at. It's so cool to see. Like, the time when Anakin and Obi-Wan's like, I failed you. I knew the Jedi were evil. You're out of your fucking mind. Paraphrasing, of course.
I would have loved it if Obi-Wan was like that. You're out of your fucking mind.
I forgot what he said at that moment. He said something classier, but I was like, what the fuck did he say? Can't remember right now. Like hopefully I'll make an edit of Obi-Wan saying that.
I think it was that you were supposed to like fight the dark side, not join it.
Oh yeah. Anakin.
Yeah, like something like that. It wasn't you out of your fucking mind.
Yeah. Anakin doesn't have the common sense to, like, I don't know, not jump so high or jump a bit further from the platform, but he does the super jump, doesn't do anything, has his arm, his leg severed. You're like, oh, Jesus, fuck. I forgot lightsabers were so devastating.
Yeah.
Then we get the dialogue of, like, you were supposed to join, bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. I hate you, you were my brother. And again, watching the Clone Wars, you're like, fuck, this hurts a little bit more than it used to.
Yeah. To make this scene or this entire movie hit more, you do have to watch the Clone Wars. But again, dude, that's also fine. You'll still enjoy the movie nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because we did. Without any of the context of like what the Clone Wars had to provide. But other than that, yeah, I think it's like adding salt to steak. You know, it gives it a little bit more flavor if you watch, you know,
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Yeah. Also crazy to think that, like, as the duels were happening, like as Order 66 was happening, we got the Siege of Mustafar, which, yeah, to your point, adds more flavor because Maul is like, shit's about to go down, and you don't want to be in this position when it does go down. Ahsoka, and like as the duel is happening, Ahsoka is making her escape, and Maul is just being like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So like, again, I'm sure there's like a supercut of like events of Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars, but if there's a way to make a movie out of that, like someday in the future, I would love to see that.
You know, something I wish I would see in my lifetime is a Clone Wars version of the fight of Mustafar.
Yeah, like
I would love to see it. Dave Filoni, please, like exact same like time or like the duration of the fight.
Yeah,
just give me that scene, but in Clone Wars style. I wouldn't care if it takes the animators 10 years to make.
That'll be pretty sick. Like maybe in the future they'll do something about that. But for now, we get the birth of Luke and Leia, which is tragic because there's theories online that Palpatine had something to do with that. But then again, I'm like, George Lucas is not the subtlest of writers, so I'll leave that with a grain of salt. Same time, you get the creation of Darth Vader. I have a question for you: does Anakin become Darth Vader the moment he helps kill Mace Windu, or is it the moment he gets the suit?
I say the moment when he kills Mace Windu.
When he kills Mace Windu.
Sorry, like he is already there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like sure, it solidifies the whole suit and everything, but that's not the point where he chooses to be in the dark side. He's already there.
Yeah.
When he's in the suit.
The suit is just the final nail in the coffin. I do agree with you. Like he was already Vader. The suit just makes him more terrifying. There's like, I do love, there's one moment of regret where he's just like, I guess this is it. Shit. And then he becomes the man in the machine. You're like, damn. Again, George Lucas is not the most subtlest of directors, but when he has subtle moments, you're like, oh fuck, that hits hard. Alright.
Yeah. Just him going, no, you know, it does hit hard, because now you, again, after watching Clone Wars, you see the amount of regret.
Yeah.
And there's no turning back. he's now he's angry, he's mad, he's consumed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. But I
Yeah.
do like it that in I do like it that in the Kenobi show, you do see this character as a broken person more than a monster.
Yeah. He's just
Yeah, so like,
a man in perpetual agony, and like the whole thing just makes Darth Vader more one of the most complicated characters in Star Wars, like if not the most well developed or complicated characters there is. But yeah, like all this darkness, and you end with like, no pun intended, you end with A New Hope, which is Luke and Leia, and like you see Leia go off to Alderaan, you see Luke go off to Tatooine with his fucking sassy uncle, who's just like, oh, you want to train him like you trained his dad? You're like, damn, forgot, I didn't know you were such a savage, Uncle Owen, but shit.
holds hit.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, yeah. And that's where like Kenobi starts off.
Yeah. So in this very messy and not perfect trilogy, there is like at least closure. There's a definite start and definite end, and you see the vision of the whole way through. Definitely, it's the rockiest of roads getting to the end, but like by the end, you're like, I feel fulfilled. Even up to now, I'm like, yeah, I feel closure watching this.
Yeah. You feel even more closure again if you watch Clone Wars.
Yeah, it feels like an entire arc closing, and then you can either pick up with Rogue One, or you can wait until this season of Andor wraps up, and then you can watch Andor season 1, 2, Rogue One, and then the original trilogy, whatever way you want to do it. And
if you're watching it chronologically.
yeah, and maybe Obi-Wan and Solo in the middle, but those are both optional. But yeah, what would you rate Revenge of the Sith?
I have 2 ratings for Revenge of the Sith. Like, just standalone viewing without any like Clone Wars, I would say it's a 7, because again we're coming off of Attack of the Clones into Revenge of the Sith. Not gonna lie, I'm just like, okay, the dialogue is much better, the pacing is a tad bit better actually. Still long, but it's much better. The fight scenes are fucking perfect in my opinion. Not a fan of that, seeing that majority of like bad guys just get, axed just like that.
Yeah.
But just the turn itself, Order 66, is ingrained into my head.
Yeah.
Yes, horrible, but damn, that was cool. Like just for a villain origin story, what kind of villain starts off with a genocide? Just to show that like this guy had the best army, this guy had the trust of every single soldier in that army, especially if you watch Clone Wars, and just takes out the entire roster of Jedis.
Yeah.
In their own home turf. So that's kind of sick for an origin story. But it's a 7 without any context and without Clone Wars. But with Clone Wars, it's an 8. Because the amount of like emotional weight with all the characters that you've known throughout like the 7 seasons hits harder once you lose them all.
Yeah.
You see characters grow up and move on. You see characters that like, I wish they're okay. If you watch Rebels, you find out that they are. I'm talking about Rex, Cody, and
I'm trying to remember too.
what? Yeah, one of the clones that survived.
Yeah.
Order 66, and and you get to see and have a bit more of world building. When it comes to this universe. But yeah, other than that, the actual fight itself has more weight, knowing the history that you see Obi-Wan and Anakin go through in Clone Wars. So yeah, I really highly recommend doing that. Watch the show, then watch this movie.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of time, I have to say, but it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes each up. I forgot.
20 minutes each.
It's very short.
Yeah. You can definitely
20
binge
minutes
it like within the month if you watch it nonstop.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I can, as much as I love this movie, and I do love it because it's my first Star Wars movie, can't give it a 9 or a 10 because I'm like, why? You're a critic now. You have to control your impulse and just be fair. I'm like, fine. Yeah, I agree. By itself, it's a 7 with Clone Wars and all the context and the emotional weight. It's an 8, and it does again feel like a closing for those arcs. Does it have the best acting? It's on par with the rest of the prequels. Like, there are some standouts, like of course Ian McGregor, Natalie Portman has her moments, and like Count Christopher Lee and Ian McDermott are great, and Hayden Christensen has his moments, his grand moments too. But there are some moments here too where I'm like, yeah, that line delivery could be better. You can tell Ewan McGregor is trying to stop himself from laughing, and he's like, and he killed younglings. You're like, all right, man. But yeah, you said it's a very good origin story for Vader, and I agree. Like, I do love origin stories too. So, if you want to see the entire trilogy of that, flawed as it is, it's a pretty good origin story, in my opinion. And like, yeah, you say the turn of Order 66 lives in your head. Same with me. Like, shot of Anakin with the 501st behind him, like, that will live with me forever for the rest of my days. Fucking Vader coming up like he's fucking Frankenstein. I was like, fuck, forget how cool that was after watching that for this video.
It's tragic, but I love it.
Yeah, even moves like him too. I was like, I love the symbolism. Again, George doesn't always get subtleties down, but when he does, you're like, fuck, that hits. But yeah, to the audience watching, what's your favorite trilogy of the 3 trilogies? Is it the prequels? Is it the originals? Is it sequels? No judgment, whatever it is, in the comment section. I promise you that. You can like what you like, and like, as I said before, the prequels were for our generation what the sequels are for the next generation. So, who am I to judge? And the Star Wars fandom already has its unfortunate share of bashers, so I won't add to that, you know. But yeah, if you like what you see here, you can leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see your best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear us on the go, and the video Zodas was us on TikTok and Anne's Waffle Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnJu on Instagram. It is my account. By the way, if you guys want to see somebody else's rendition of the Star Wars trilogy, prequel trilogy, there's a video on YouTube with like full-on animation.
Oh yeah. If the prequels were better, something like that, right?
Yeah, if the prequels were better or something like that. And I will say this almost made me cry.
Oh yeah.
So look that up. There, I think it's like 40 minutes each, like episode.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So check it out.
I'll link it down in the comments and like the description for you guys to check out, and you can choose what alternate timeline you want. But yeah, for now, that's all the time we have. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.